nothing to threaten me with. Nothing to do with all this shit.
It's time to go!
So I've been thinking about this long and hard. No, not that kind of long and hard. Okay, look, but if there's anything that's for certain in this godforsaken world that we live in, it's gotta be these three things right here. 1, the sky is blue, obviously. 2, the NBA is rigged, obviously. And 3, people really can't decide how to feel about the Batman's final act. So here comes me, Mr. Nerdimation, giving all of you wonderful viewers an opinion to latch on to inform your entire identity around. You're welcome. Oh, and if anybody dares to question our opinion in the slightest, obviously slander them and their entire family with the most obscene and unjustifiably vulgar words humanly imaginable. Isn't that how it goes at least? Anywho, I've been seeing a lot of rhetoric online regarding Matt Reeves' take on the Caped Crusader, and though largely positive, a decent percentage of those privileged enough to have a consistent Wi-Fi connection are still frustrated and disappointed by the third act. So being the avid moviegoer, comment reader, and shit poster that I am, I figured that nobody other than myself is more fit to be the judge of this situation. Or could the situation possibly be a little more nuanced than most are making it out to be? Well, of course it is. Also, side note, why is it literally impossible in 2022 to not have an entire freaking movie spoiled when I literally booked my tickets to see the movie 3 days after it came out? Like, I'm talking plot spoiled, motifs spoiled. I swear to God, somebody probably found the boom operator's elementary school lunch number and decided to leak it immediately. Why? I don't know. So can we all agree as a collective that there needs to be a minimum 7-day time frame for spoiler-free discussion on the internet? I mean, I know it won't happen, but you guys are really starting to piss me off. Anyways, so the third act of the Batman is awesome, but in a weird way where it's also kind of not awesome, or at least not in the stereotypical way you'd normally think of. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I've been trying to see things from the perspective of people who couldn't find any enjoyment out of the Batman's ending. And I think I figured it out. So you see, there's this weird lull in action right at the beginning of the third act when Falcone gets killed. As a viewer, you feel this rush of excitement. Your adrenaline really starts to pump and your heart rate increases. Except all of that excitement lasts for about 9 seconds when the entire Gotham police force bursts into a diner right down the street to make an arrest on an unmasked and unarmed Riddler. So wait, you're saying he just like turns himself in? Huh? You're telling me we've been waiting 2 hours for this man to delicately stir a question mark into an espresso and put up no fight at all? What nerve does this diner even have being open right now? I mean, literally one of Gotham's biggest crime busts in history is happening 1 block over, and you're telling me Jerry from the coffee shop is just handing out white mocha lattes? I mean, to be completely transparent, at this point, I wasn't seriously worried yet, and in all fairness, I'm an actual fan of the third act, even though I certainly had my doubts early on. But I think what has everybody all up in arms is that the entire movie, we are following these riddles, trying to solve them alongside Batman, who actually is so good at riddles that it's insane. Like, I don't know how many crossword puzzles Bruce Wayne was doing over the last 2 years, but my guy needs to start hitting that buzzer on Jeopardy or something. Anyways, I digress. So the Riddler is finally detained, but where's the big ending? Where is all of this momentum leading up to? As a viewer, you just know something is going to go awry. This can't be how it ends. Can it? I mean, the third act has barely been set in motion. The Riddler hasn't done enough. All of the riddles, the stringing along, the murders, the bloodshed. How could something so complicated end so simply? I mean, there has to be something we're missing. So bring in
the final riddle.
As most of us with high-level intelligence could have assumed, it turns out that the Riddler's plan hasn't been foiled just yet. Actually, on quite the contrary, Batman, without knowing, actually led the police, the politicians, and the people of Gotham right into the belly of the Riddler's trap. His final riddle is not a clever accumulation of words or some code to decipher, but a final finishing move taken straight out of Mortal Kombat's Gamer Index. The Riddler plans to flood the streets of Gotham. And although to the normal moviegoer, this seems like where things should really begin to ramp up, this is where I truly started to get worried. I mean, how many more blue light beams and giant dragon third acts do we have to suffer through before the superhero movie genre realizes that it's okay to take a risk? It's okay to not be Marvel. I saw it flashing before my eyes. Here comes the giant, mind-blowing, city-leveling CGI flood. I mean, how much money do you want to bet that Aquaman is about to show up and save the day? I literally saw Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern in the back of my head making a comeback as we speak. I was getting shivers. But this must have been what everybody was talking about on Twitter, right? Wait, what is this? I literally had to have my girlfriend pinch me because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Hold on, is this third act action realistic and believable? Wait, but the flood, I mean, although damaging, it's not world ending? But where are the stakes? Where's the spaceships? What about the multiverse? I loved this. So I think I finally understand why the third act is being so criticized, because even though it does have its big action set piece moments, the film puts a huge emphasis on developing our main characters rather than developing the next 10 films in a soon-to-be series. This third act is used as a narrative tool to progress our main trio into the characters that they are going to be in the very, very likely sequel. But Batman doesn't stop the flood. He wasn't smart or quick enough to solve the Riddler's final riddle. So filled with rage, he shows up to take his vengeance, just as he has throughout the entire film. However, this is the beginning of a realization that perhaps vengeance won't be enough to save the people of Gotham. Showing up moments too late, the new mayor already shot, we all get to see what we were salivating for. Batman brutalizing and taking out the countless Riddler ripoffs. But I think what makes this third act truly special for me is what most average viewers are seemingly missing. It's that while for a moment we get what we want from Batman, the true ending gives us and the people of Gotham what we need. For the last 70 years, what made Batman so special isn't that he beats up bad guys. It's not that he drives an awesome car or flies off the top of skyscrapers. What makes Batman awesome is that he gives us hope. Hope that even without superpowers, we ourselves can make a change. Hope that even in the darkest of times, any one of us can come out on the other side and welcome the light. Throughout this entire movie, Batman moves in the dark. Bruce wears sunglasses during the day because he's so used to maneuvering at night. But it's right here at the end where Batman is about to get his brains blasted by the final Riddler goon that Catwoman swoops in and saves him. Literally saves the day in a certain sense. Selina brings the light back into Bruce's life at this exact moment. You see, I believe that it's here, almost 2 hours and 15 minutes in, where Bruce finally realizes that Batman needs the people of Gotham just as much as they need him. No one man can do it all alone. We all need friends and family to help guide us along the way. Friends like Selina, friends like Gordon, and Alfred. Because without them, the vengeance will inevitably consume us. Bruce becomes nothing more than the exact thugs that he fights in the night. But at this moment, Batman renounces becoming the vengeance he desired so gravely and truly begins to encompass the hope that not only Gotham needs, but that he needed his entire life. For the first time throughout this entire movie, we see Batman go out of his way to help people, instead of just beating down on the crooked in order to satisfy his own selfish desires. With a batarang in hand, Batman cuts his grapple and leaps into the flooded streets of Gotham. He emerges from the water reborn, baptized as a new kind of hero. He lights his torch and makes his way towards a group of civilians trapped in the rubble and utilizes the people of Gotham. The men, women, and children trapped beneath the rubble get led to safety by Batman with torch in hand as he leads them towards the light, now having fully accepted his role as Gotham's hope. You see, this third act isn't beautiful or exciting because of the action and the CGI, but because of the story that it tells about a single man. This type of film gives me hope for the future of superhero movies, just the same as Batman gives hope to the people of Gotham and to all of us. So thank you guys for watching.